CBS Fix. I'd like to dedicate this video to Shmuel Deer and his family upon the engagement of their daughter Shani. Mazel tov. You should go from one happy occasion to the next. In this week's Parsha Shlach, we read about the Mekoshesh Eitzim, the one who had gathered wood. And gathering wood is one of the Shabbos prohibitions that he was not allowed to do. And our sages actually teach us that he had violated Shabbos for Hashem's sake. He actually was trying to get rid of a mistake that was possibly going to happen to the Jewish people. He was afraid that people thought that the only time that they actually had to keep Shabbos with all their laws is only once they had started to go into the land of Israel. And he wanted to uproot that mistake, and he wanted it to get into the heart of the nation that such was not the case. And he thereby willingly desecrated Shabbos and ordered that he would actually be put to death, and that his death would be used as a sign to the entire nation. They would all witness it and see what would happen, the severity of one who desecrates Shabbos. Which is an incredible act for him to do, because this guy is going to go down in history as being a wicked person, having openly, purposely desecrated Shabbos. And he knew that that would happen, and he knew that it was forbidden, yet nevertheless, because he wanted that to make sure that others wouldn't sin, he had done a sin. Now this seems like it's an incredible self-sacrifice, but it teaches us a lesson. We cannot go against the word of Hashem. Why? Because our sages also teach us that had the Jewish people kept that second Shabbos, no nation ever would have been over us, or we never would have been under their control. And so therefore, even though he had the best intentions, we're seeing over here that you can't argue what it is, the will of Hashem. And even though you might think that you have good reasons why you're going to do it, and you're going to teach the greatest lesson, nevertheless, you can't argue with Hashem, because you ended up really frustrating Hashem's entire plan. And really, you ruined it for the entire Jewish people. Now, there's a famous story, parable given about a king whose son was about to go check out his entire province, and so he can learn in order to be king himself. And the king made one request of him: don't make any bets, no matter what you do. And he promised his father, no problem, I won't make any bets. And he's going around touring. After a couple months, he stops at a certain inn. And over there, a drunkard who's giving out money left and right comes up to him and swears to the prince, that he's a hunchback. And he said, I'm not a hunchback. You can see I'm obviously very healthy. And he says to him, I'll bet you 200,000 gulden that you're a hunchback, which is an incredible sum of money, $10 million. So he said, I know my father told me not to make any bets, but this is a bet he would certainly tell me to make. And so he agrees. He proves to him he's not a hunchback, and true to his word, the guy gives him 200,000 gulden. A couple months later, he finally makes his way back to the palace. And the king says to him, so my son, the prince, did you make any bets? He goes, nope, not a one. So you didn't make any bets? So he said, actually, there was this one guy tells him about this drunk guy in the inn back a couple months ago. And he said, and you bet him how much? He said, 200,000 gulden. I knew you would tell me to take that bet. And the king exclaims, you fool, I bet that guy 2 million gulden that my son would never make a bet. And you went and ruined it. You thought you were doing something good for yourself and good for our kingdom, but instead, you really ruined our entire kingdom by giving everything away. And so therefore we think if we work on Shabbos, I'm going to be making money. No. You're ruining everything by working on Shabbos. How do you know you can work? It looks like you have money in the bank account. But then all of a sudden you get into an accident on Monday, and there goes that extra $200. Now you have a $462 bill. Or worse things, God forbid. Maybe someone has to go to the hospital, and now you have to pay for those medical bills. We can't think that we're smarter than Hashem. Hashem is only interested in our best. So as much as you keep Shabbos, Shabbos keeps you even more. Have a great, great Shabbos. And always have the best intentions of keeping Shabbos, so you're doing it for Hashem. Thank you.